Let's see if that works. Oops, now I can't see you guys. Hold on. I'm learning. There we go. All right. So start off with the roller behind you and up against your butt. And then you're slowly going to bring yourself back onto it. So you're on your sacrum, you're not kind of on, and you just roll a little bit forward and back. So it's more comfortable to be up on your hands as opposed to down your elbows. So go from your tailbone to the top of your pelvis. There you go. Again, this is just warming it up, kind of getting the blood flow started, getting the tissues to start moving, and then angle yourself a little bit. So you're going to get deeper into the hips. So one hip comes up off of it, the other one's on. Yeah, keep rolling. I'm rolling myself to the top of the reformer. And then continue on around to your side. And again, just go. You can go a little bit past the top of the pelvis, down to where it's still comfortable. And you can get forward a little bit more so you're right behind that hip pointer. All right, and then come back to center. And get on the hands or on the elbows. And we're going to go to the other side. So start just a few times, straight on the center. Tailbone to the top of the pelvis. You go a little bit beyond that now, up toward the base of the ribs. And again, when you think you've got that squared away again, then we're going to start rolling a little bit to the side. So maybe a 45-degree angle. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, just hold it if you need to. You don't have to roll with it.
No, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, no, it means you need it. That's all, Craig. All right, then again, you're going to roll onto your side all the way on. Rolling a little bit past the top of the pelvis, down to the top of the femur. And again, if you feel like you need to stay on a spot, stay there for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. And then move again. All right. Now you're gonna, you can either do this rolling on the foam roller or you can grab your stick. I'll demonstrate the stick first. Roll your quads. So going from the top of the hip all the way down to the knee. So again, be on top. You're gonna roll to the outside. And again, this is just starting to get you warmed up. So go all the way down, joint to joint, basically. Go a little on the inside, in the center, outside. And again, you find a good spot, you can stay there, shorten your stroke. Notice where your owies are. Thank you.
It's easier to find a spot that's not owie.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes I think the stick's a little bit more precise than that blunt instrument of the foam roller. Sometimes it's a little nicer, sometimes it's not. All right, and then go with the other leg.
Is it just you and her?
No, somebody else. And we're on.
Is that Kathy I hear?
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, Leo.
Good.
Again, find those tender spots, stick with them, keep rolling. One leg tends to be worse than the other, but not always. Sometimes they're pretty equal. Sometimes they're just different.
A lot of knots.
All right. And then go ahead and put that off to the side. Don't worry, we'll come back to it. Again, just warm things up. All right, you are going to take your tennis ball, or whatever ball you choose there, Craig, right above the top of the pelvis and the bottom of the rib cage. There's a space. You're going to put the tennis ball in, and you're going to be fairly well on the outside. So we're going to start outside, and we're going to work our way in toward the spine. And then you're going to lay back on it. So it should feel like it's starting to go up in between the rib and the hip. Okay, so make sure it's good. Make sure you're okay. And then you're going to sway your knees to the side that has the ball under it. Release, sway to the side, and just back to center.
Come on. Let's go out.
So sways. We got about 6 sways. We're almost there. And then you're going to move the tennis ball in a little bit more. And then again, 6 times you sway. So sway those knees as far across as you can or can tolerate. If you feel like you're getting something at a less sway, you're welcome to do that. One more. I'm at 6. And then again, move the tennis ball in as long as you're okay with that. So you should still be off the spine, but you're getting closer. So you may feel a little bit more restricted in that sway as you go here, and that's okay. Again, find a spot that's comfortable. Might need a little work, but it doesn't feel like it's moving bones. Good, one more. All right, so sticking with the same side, now your ball is going to go into the hip. So it's underneath that pelvic, underneath the pelvic ridge, into the hip. And you come in toward the sacrum. And we're just going to start with letting that leg drop out and in. If you want to do a little bit of that knee sway and let the hips rock a little bit too, you can. So again, we're going to just do about 6 of those. Either that knee sways out or the whole body kind of sways. Again, if you need to just stay there, that's fine. And then you're going to pull your knee into your chest 6 times. And then you're going to slide that leg out straight. You're going to pull the knee into the chest. And you're going to slide that leg out straight. So kind of check in as you're doing this. Do you get more benefit out of pulling the knee in? Do you get more out of sliding it straight? Do you want to play with it and kind of wobble as you come back in and wobble as you go out? Part of this is being curious as to what you need. All right, so after a little bit, then we're going to move that tennis ball again. So just start to come around the femur head. So I had mine in toward the triangle. So now I'm starting to move it out and up a little bit. So again, same thing. You're starting with the sway. It can be just the leg. You can let the whole lower body sway. Your choice. And again, be curious. It's all about feeling what's going on in your body. This is what I do as a massage therapist. What's going on in those hips today? Let's feel it. So you got about 6 sways. And then back to what does this leg need to do as it moves in and out? Does it need a little wobble? Does it need just straight in and out? What do you need? So you're moving the leg that has the ball under it. About 6 of those, and then we're going to go one more spot on that hip. So now you're getting more toward the outside edge. So again, you may have to do a little bit more sway and pin it, and then you can do the leg dropping. Depends on how you're built, what's going on. And again, it's not tender. Maybe go below the femur head. So you're going lower down toward where the leg actually attaches in. So be curious. If it doesn't hurt, find a spot that's slightly tender. And again, 6 sways and then 6 in and out. And what do you need as you pull it in and as you straighten it out? and then you're gonna check in, see how everything feels. I'm flipping sides so you can see what's going on. You can stay there, you're welcome to. You can flip sides if you like. And then we're gonna start with the tennis ball in between the rib and the top of the pelvis. And again, you're more to the outside, so it's a little less solid. Find that spot. And then again, you're gonna let the knees sway toward the side that has the tennis ball under it. So you may notice that the side you just did, feeling better right now. Hope it feels looser. Again, you have 6 sways. And then you're gonna move the tennis ball in, 6 sways. Let the knees sway. And then one more time, move that tennis ball in. And again, on this one, be mindful, stay off the vertebrae. So you're still a couple inches away from your spine. And then 6 sways. All right, and then that tennis ball is gonna come below the ridge of the pelvis. And again, start inside more this time. Find that spot that's tender. And again, the knee goes out, the knee comes back. If you prefer the full body sway of those knees, you can. Or you can just isolate that one. Again, if it's not tender, move the tennis ball, find a spot. We're only gonna do 3 spots. When you've done your 6, then that leg goes in and out. Again, you should feel like you're in between 2 bony landmarks. All right, when you've done your 6, then you gotta move the tennis ball again. So maybe down, maybe out. Again, do a few sways. If it doesn't feel tender, move it. There you go. All right, and then you got the real sways. 6 of them going side to side. You all right, Craig?
Yeah.
You got-
The left side's good. The right side's the one that's the problem.
Okay, do your 6 sways, and then in and out. All right, and then one more spot. Again, if you need to roll a little bit to stay more on the outside, you're welcome to. Do your sways. So if you decide you want to use this on back on that first side, you're welcome to. We do want to make sure we hit both sides. All right, and then that leg goes in and out. All right, and then check in for a moment. No tennis ball under you. See how you feel right to left. Hopefully the backside's feeling looser. Through the glutes, through that left back area. And then we're gonna have you flip over. And you're gonna go face down. So the tennis ball is gonna go just inside that hip pointer. So that bony protrusion that's right here, it's gonna go right there and you're gonna lay on it. It should feel like it's kind of cupped inside that pelvic bowl. And again, just take a few sways here. So rock the hips side to side. That kind of lets the muscles get warmed up and you're working into them. Okay, torso down if you're able. And then you're going to exhale. Lift the leg. Inhale, release. Lift the leg. So we pinned it with the tennis ball. We're working on the iliacus right now, and now we're stretching it. Pin it, stretch it. So we have 6 of these lifts. And then you're gonna move the tennis ball in, try about 2 inches. So it should feel like it's on something different. So we got your psoas now. And again, you're gonna rock side to side. So you should kind of be midway between the belly button and the hip pointer now. Again, let the hips rock. Just kind of get that feeling of, oh, let's get some blood flowing. Let's get some tension done. And then you have 6 lifts of that leg. Again, get that glute to fire and lift. Get the glute to fire, lift. When you get done with those 6, you're gonna move the tennis ball up so it's at the level of your belly button now, but still 2 inches to the outside. So now we're getting more directly onto the head of the psoas. And same thing, a little bit of rocking side to side. So if you feel your pulse here with the tennis ball going on that descending aorta, number 1, get off of it. Just move to the outside a little bit. We don't want to cut off blood flow to your lower body. Okay, so once you've rocked, again, same thing. You're going to lift and release. Same leg, up and down. How much you lift is entirely dependent on how tight you are through the hips and how strong the glutes are. All right, and then you're going to release. So now you're going to take your tennis ball. I'm going to stand up, show you where we're going. So your hip pointer's here. The top of your quad is right about there. And this is creates a little pocket. So you have 2 muscles that kind of create a little V. The tennis ball is going to go right inside that V. So on the outside is your TFL. On the inside is your sartorius. All right, so put it in that little pocket, and then you're going to lay on it. Here. And again, rock around side to side. If it feels like it's rolling out and it's not really locked in there, it's not quite right. You may need to move the tennis ball down a little bit even, and then work your way back up. But you should be able to feel the V if you're tight in these muscles. All right, so from here, now I want you to bend the knee and then lift the knee. And then release down, straighten it out. Bend the knee, lift the knee. That just gives you that little extra bang for the buck when you lift the knee. So take your time on that lift. Make sure you've got weight on that hip. It's easy to roll off on this one. Because if you have tight hip flexors, this is a hip flexor. This one is lovely. One more. All right, now let the tennis ball roll a little bit to the outside. So you're still in that V, you're now just pushing into your TFL. Okay, and then again, same thing. Bend, lift the knee a little bit, release it down. So you should be on muscle belly right now. Bend the knee, lift the knee. Bend the knee, lift the knee. One more. And then release. Other side, same thing. Start off with the psoas. You're going right inside that hip pointer. I know, you're like, wait. So tennis ball, here's your hip pointer. Tennis ball's right inside. So again, it's feel like you're cupping the pelvic bowl, or it's being cupped by the pelvic bowl. You might be able to see that tennis ball a little bit. You can see mine, and then rock side to side. So right at the level of that hip pointer. There we go. And again, that just kind of gets in and warms up that iliacus. All right, then we get the fun stuff. So from here, lift your leg. Lift your leg. Let your pelvis kind of even press down. Low back stays still. Lift the leg. Lift the leg. You got 6 of those, and then you're gonna move that tennis ball in about 2 inches. And again, being mindful if you feel a pulse, get off of it. Do a little bit of rocking of the pelvis back and forth. That'll kind of loosen things up to start. Okay, and then again, you have 6 lifts of that leg. Lift. All right, then you're moving that tennis ball up to the level of your belly button, but you're still about 2 inches away. And again, be mindful of feeling any pulse. If you feel any, get off of it. Roll the ball to the outside a little bit more. Rock the hips side to side to begin. Get it to talk and warm up a little bit. And then you're lifting that leg. And again, notice what's lifting your leg. Is it the hamstring? Is it the glute? When you've done your 6, then we're going to go down and put it on the thigh, up in that little pocket, so right at the top of the thigh. And again, kind of play around a little bit, make sure you're in there. Ooh, I'm in there now. Okay. And again, a little bit of rocking side to side. That's a little cross friction right there. And then you're going to bend the knee. You're going to lift the knee. Straighten or drop and straighten. Bend, lift, down, straighten. All right, then push it a little bit to the outside. Get a little bit more into that TFL now. And same thing. You can do your rocking. You can do your bend the knee, straight, or lift the heel. Lift the knee. There we go. One more. And then release. Go ahead and sit up. Even stand up for a moment. Check in. Keep your tennis ball with you. See how everything's feeling. And then you're going to need to find a wall to stand against. So, tennis ball goes into the side of your hip, just below that line of the pelvis, and you're leaning in. So I'm lucky I have a shifter robe, it lets me put my elbow up. So here's the top of my pelvis, here's the tennis ball. Okay, so leaning in, so make sure you're on muscle, and then rock forward and back a little bit. So I'm going this way, forward and back. So I'm turned to the side. There you go. All right, now knee up, knee down, knee up, and down. Again, we're trying to get deeper into the side of the hip here. All right, then be curious. What happens if you move the ball back some? What happens if you move the ball forward some, down some? Again, do your little bit of rocking, do your lift and lower of that leg. So you're really trying to get more into the TFL here, into that glute med. So here's my hip pointer, here's the top of my pelvis, tennis ball is kind of going through here. Okay, so I'm leaned in, I'm pressing in, and I'm lifting and lowering. Okay, so be curious, where do you need to go? Maybe you need to go right above that pelvis, and then lean in, if you can do that. You can also do it with your hand if you need to, above the pelvis at least. Okay, one more spot. If you haven't done a third one yet, work on that. And then we will go to the other side. So again, hip pointer, top of the pelvis, ball is going somewhere behind and below that. So pushing into the wall, and then bend your knee, straighten the knee. Pull it up and down. Again, feel yourself lean in. Find those tender spots. Maybe it's not even tender, maybe it's just tight and you feel that tension. You feel that tightness more than anything. Sometimes if you can't feel anything, that means you really need it. So that would be a good place to stick. Sometimes you can tell it actually feels good. Sometimes you just don't feel anything. Again, 6, and then move it a little bit. Three spots, and again, if you want to try right above the pelvis with your hand, you're taking that tennis ball and you're rolling forward and back along that top of that pelvis ridge. So we did the back side here, but now we're kind of doing the side and the front a little bit. Again, your obliques attached there. You have a fascial connection there to your psoas, to your iliacus.
There's more problems there in chat.
Okay, be curious, explore. Nice. Okay, when you're done with that, we're gonna need the stick. You can try it standing, you can try it sitting. I'm not sure if on the ground will work, but we need to get into your hamstrings, the back of your legs. I'm gonna put mine up on a bench. And again, starting from the hip, roll down to the knee and back to the hip. So you're gonna be in the center. You're gonna be to the outside. There you go, Craig, to the wall. And you're gonna be on the inside. Get everything that attaches into the pelvis, into the low back to release. Again, find a tender spot, ow, right there, stick with it, roll over it about 6 times, and then move on. If we stay on too long, we start to elicit an even stronger pain response, and we don't need that. We just need some awareness, start to stimulate the nerves, so hopefully they'll release. And again, sitting these days, hamstrings tend to be a little on the tight side. All right, when you're done, go to the other side. Again, in the center, inside, outside. Find your tender spots. Work those tender spots. It's more tender one way than the other. Again, be curious. And then when you feel you're balanced, we're going back to the foam roller. And again, take your time here. Finish up with rolling the spine. Ooh. I'm going to go the other way. Keep rolling into that line. Okay. So sit up against it. Start down on the pelvis. Whoops. Ken, you dropped me.
Yep.
Slowly all the way down to your spine. Oh, all the way up your spine to the shoulder blades. And then slowly back. Kind of like that nice effleurage at the end. Finishing strokes, just checking in. How's everything feel? Again, you can do a little bit more on one side than on the other. You find a tender spot, feel free to stay there, work it for about 6 rolls. And then move on. So feel free to protect the neck as you need. That's also very important. Oh. Should feel like your low back's a little bit more open now as you're rolling than when you started. Did we wear you out, Craig? You okay?
Yeah, that right side is just too much.
Okay. It might be more prudent for you to do smaller doses every day.
Okay.
And see if that will help more than a big dose once a week.
All right.
So you can take what you've learned here and go on. So how's the back feel aside from that right side softly tight?
Better?
Better? Ken, how you feel?
Good.
Better?
It's in the low, probably in the hips and the piriformis where it's tight and tender a little bit.
So tennis ball in the butt more.
Yep.
You set? Okay. Thank you guys for being here today.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll see you next time.
Good. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.